Hey guys, welcome back to my desk. Thank you for joining me for another video here. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today, as you can see, I have a Hot Toys figure. This is the War Machine Mark IV from the Avengers Infinity War. I purchased this via Sideshow and it just recently arrived. I have taken this guy out of the external shipper, but I have not opened this. This is my first diecast Hot Toys figure. I do have a couple of other ones that I still need to unbox and play around with. But I was pretty excited for this one because, as I said, it's my first experience with a diecast Hot Toys figure, and I always hear positive things. I specifically wanted to get this specific War Machine figure just because it's my favorite one out of all the ones that I've seen in these MCU movies. So, yeah, let's try and see if I can do a unboxing here for you guys. I do like the packaging there. I'm not sure special edition wise what that means, but I guess we'll find out. There's Rhodey the War Machine, and here's some more of the packaging. There's the gauntlet with the Infinity War and the gems, some legal stuff, the name, etc. I do like the packaging. I mean, for as much as these things cost, I appreciate that they do give you a bit of a premium feel. And from what I see, this is something you slip out. And then on the inside here, you have this box that looks like it's sort of lifts up again. But here's more artwork of the figure itself. I like the embossed, well, it's not embossed, but it's like printed in there, gold Avengers Infinity War logo. Same thing here on this side. The back, again, I guess some of the designers, the cast and crew. And there's a logo, War Machine logo. And I think here on the bottom, you also get the name. And again, as I said, this looks to be, okay, so you open it this way. We'll put that aside. And what I'll do is I'll switch to a different view because it looks like you pretty much pull this out. And we'll move this out of the way. Really nice hard cardboard box here. So for my Hot Toys, I am planning on keeping the boxes. So, you know, in case in the future for resale or whatever reason, it'll be nice to have them. So there, I do like this packaging. Actually, this reminds me a lot of the RoboSen Optimus Prime. It came in a similar like styrofoam container. I like the War Machine Mark IV thing there. So it looks like you pull this out. Okay, so I'll probably do this laying down because the figure is in there. And it feels like, okay, so there's also stuff in the back. So let me switch to a different view and then we'll go ahead and keep moving forward with the unboxing. Okay, so hopefully this will work a little better for, you know, the unboxing of this figure. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see what's in here. But as I said, the styrofoam packaging is really nice. Here's the figure itself, which looks really cool. It looks like you get all the different hands and accessories here and here as well. And there's obviously all this plastic. So that's really cool. Maybe I could just pull this guy out for you guys. And I'm already feeling this, and it feels nice and cold, I guess because it's die-cast metal there. And it's nice and hefty, which I love. Already feeling very positive about this figure here. And I actually do have another, I have an Iron Man actually, Mark 85, that I should be getting hopefully by December. But this is awesome so far, just on first-hand impression. So we'll put him off to the side here. It looks like, you know, other than plastic in here, there's all these different hands. I don't believe these are articulated, but they are soft rubber here. So that's cool. Looks like some sprawling hands. I'm assuming these are supposed to be his repulsor hands as well when he's shooting. And we've got some additional, looks like some fists here, if I can just get it out. But here's a fist. And it's got these things. Oh, okay, so I see. So these are different than the fists that are in here, because these have the where he shoots out of that hand. So we'll put those aside, and then it looks like okay, so this may be his shoulder mounted cannon, which I'll probably put that on a figure as well. Okay, so we've got a faceplate. This is plastic. Would have been nice to get this in metal, but again, I'm not sure about Hot Toys. Again, as I said, this is my first die-cast Hot Toys. And you also get the, I guess, the Rhodey head sculpt here, which to me, I mean, this is awesome likeness-wise, I think. Wow. Yeah, I do appreciate the eyes and the skin texture, the color. It looks really nice. And I'm assuming that this part here, it's supposed to go in here and then maybe flip up at some point. I'll have to figure that out. But you do get the Don Cheadle or Rhodey. Really cool stuff. I believe in the back, as I mentioned earlier, there is some stuff. I'm trying to get this other fist. Here you go. Out of the way. So looks like in the back here there is some stuff. So let's try and get this out. Okay, so yeah, there's stuff in there. Okay, it looks like some instructions as well. So that's the styrofoam container. We'll move that out of the way. And thank you for putting up with me as I shuffle all these different things around. But you guys could see, wow. Okay, so you get a ton of other stuff here. And, okay, cool. So I had completely forgotten that this thing came with like a base. It looks like almost like a little diorama. Okay, so this is, and I forget these guys' names right now, but obviously this is one of the bad guys. Outriders, I think. Okay, so you could probably set this on the ground and have him step on it or whatever, but it's obviously charred. Some really cool detailing there. It looks very fleshy and burnt. There's a teeth, and it's got a good weight to it. Obviously, it's not like a paperweight. It's not too heavy, but it's cool. And this is plastic, I'm assuming, but pretty cool stuff. Obviously, I'm aware that Hot Toys uses a lot of these batteries for their light up figures, but I don't know that I'll be using these. I'd rather not take the chance of these corroding and leaking if they do that. You get the base, which it looks like you can add a different color to it. I guess this is supposed to be the dirt from that battle in Wakanda, and here's the actual base with War Machine. And then you get all these other little accessories. Looks like panels for the shoulders, for the hands, there's little bullets, which again is very appropriate for Rhodey, for War Machine. And you get instructions, which I always assume these things are a bit complicated, therefore you get instructions. Okay, yeah, on how to put the different parts on the arms, how to put on the batteries, the different pieces you can move around and sort of take out. Oh yeah, so we'll probably try and follow these on how to move the different legs, I guess, because some of the parts are die cast and you don't want to damage anything. Cool stuff. But off the cuff, really nice weight to it. So let's switch over to a different view here and we'll get more into the details of this guy here. Okay guys, so I finally was able to take this guy out of the packaging, and man, they do a good job of including a lot of this foam in between the joints, like the ankles, the feet, a lot of plastic everywhere. So I was able to safely take all this stuff out, but I guess they try and do their best to make sure the figure is packaged safely and nothing's getting scratched. As I mentioned earlier, very hefty figure. He does have a definitely die cast there, but the figure itself looks awesome. I completely had forgotten that there's some, I guess, what they call camo here on the figure. So I always thought he was like more like black, but there is some, I guess, camo there, which looks really nice. The figure itself definitely looks apart. You could see the awesome like backpack here, and these things actually move. So these are like his stuff that he uses to shoot. I'm assuming these are like thrusters or for like braking that he uses when flying. And these kind of move. There are a bit on like a joint here. I'll bring them closer so you guys could see. This is all plastic, which is, I guess, a bit unfortunate, but I'm assuming if this was all metal, this figure would cost way more. There is the section back here where one of the accessories is his gun that you can attach to the back, and this thing itself is on a joint, so it does have a good articulation as far as wanting to, it does spin, etc., and you guys could see. So this goes attached to his back, and you can have it, you know, shooting at things. The other accessories, like these are his wrist or forearm guns. So right now he has them in, but these you could tab in and like they're out. You get a multitude of hands, and the hands are again really nice. You get these closed fist ones, but they have they're open like they're shooting, as opposed to these that are closed. We have these hands that they have two kinds of hands. They have these hands which are the repulsor hands, because they're sort of angled in such a way, and these fingers specifically are like soft rubber on this hand. But you also do get these hands which are fully poseable. These fingers are individually articulated, the thumb as well. So that's really nice that you get all these different options for the hands, and you get like 4 pairs of hands. Additionally, you get this awesome sculpt, I guess as I showed earlier, of Rhodey, which definitely looks the part of Don Cheadle, the actor there. I think it does look really nice. There's a close, and the head just pops off. There's a socket there to pop on and off, and you get this mask that's magnetized so that the thing could stay open. You do get batteries, as I mentioned earlier, but you probably won't be using these for light up purposes. And then the base is really nice, which they included a base with interchangeable, like, I guess backgrounds or whatever. So this is, I guess, the dirt from that Infinity War battlefield or whatever, and then you get the standard Avengers War Machine stand, and it comes with this. There is no flight stand. You get this stand right here, which is meant to hold him by the bottom in between his legs, so he could stand in place. I'm assuming no flight stand because he's fairly heavy. And then other accessories are these shoulder mounted pieces and bullets, which you can attach to the figure there. And then the bigger thing is also this Outrider that, he's charred. He's pretty fleshy. The detail on this guy is done really well. It definitely looks like he's seen better days. And, you can put him there on the ground. He'll make a nice diorama. As far as the range of movement of this guy, because there are a lot of articulated parts and pieces, there is some decent articulation, I want to say. Like you could move his torso up to then allow him to have a bit of a ab crunch. You just need to be careful with these figures, because it's Even though it's like die cast, not all of it is die cast. There's a lot of plastics in here that can get scratched pretty easily. One cool thing is, I guess, part of the ab crunch here is this part here. The legs do pull out, so if you wanted to pull them out to get better articulation, you can. And you can also, I would recommend moving these parts out of the way so that you could have more room if you wanted to do, I guess, more open leg poses. And then the knees are really cool. These are definitely die cast. There's a lot of die cast here, and the ankles do articulate. There's some toe articulation there. I really I love the figure. I think overall it looks really nice. I love the heft of it when I initially took this thing out. Definitely very impressed with it. I love the detail right here on the legs. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely an awesome figure to get, but I do have some pretty big issues with it. And I'll start off with the biggest one for me so far. So you guys could see him standing there pretty badass. I took him out of the box and I was trying to pose him up, and I realized that he's got a very loose joint. So as you can see here, this hand comes up, stays in place, no issues. But then I try to do the same thing with this hand here, and boom, automatically it's just not staying in place. No matter what I do, it's a socket joint. It is fully in, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's just really loose in there. So that already off the bat for me was a huge disappointment. The other issue that I have, and I would have been able to put up if I just had this ankle issue that I'm going to mention right now, is that the second this thing starts to lean forward, he'll go all the way. Now I get it. Obviously, this is die cast, but these bottom portions just seem like plastic, which would have been okay. I just think these joints here, especially on this leg, it just can't hold the weight of this figure. Now, I don't know if it's the same on every single version. It may be just my copy, which I'm beginning to think that's the case. Because, between this joint being really loose, like you guys could see that it's not even like there's no tension, whereas you guys could see this arm still hanging up there. So that's very disappointing on my end. It may be just my figure, in all honesty. And like I said, if it was just the loose ankle, I would have been okay. But between this and the arm, it's just really disappointing. The other thing I noticed, and this is my first die-cast Iron Man figure from Hot Toys, is, and I don't know if you guys could see that, there seems to be like a hairline where the plastic is meeting, and I'm not necessarily obviously the black part here, but near the actual ball joint, there is what looks to be a crack in there. I don't know if it was designed that way, but it's the same thing on this side. Luckily, this side, like I said, stays up, but I don't know if maybe you guys could see it better there. It looks like a split, like it's starting to crack. I'm not sure what's going on there. Again, pretty disappointing for a figure that I think this is like 370 plus tax and tax and shipping. So what I probably will end up doing is reaching out to Sideshow and seeing if they can get me a replacement. The only bad thing is that this is the Mark IV from Infinity War, and I don't believe this is in stock anymore. So, and I love this figure. I do love the way it looks. It's definitely the part. It's just really disappointing that I'm having these issues with the hand here where that's just pitiful. I know for Transformers figures, when we have these issues like this with loose joints, especially ball joints, we can always take this out and maybe put some additional like wax or floor polish to make the joint tighter. But you know, it's disappointing that you have to think about doing that on a $370 figure. Especially the quality is there on the other aspects. It's just that particular part that just really takes it down. That and the ankles, like I really wish they weren't that loose where the guy's just gonna take a dive the second he leans slightly forward. But the figure does look the part. I mean, it's awesome. If you can get a copy of this and it has no issues, you will be very, very happy with it. Um, oh, and the last thing I forgot to mention is on this helmet piece. This figure just has terrible luck. There's magnets here, obviously, on the head to be able to hold the mask in place on an open. On mine it does, but what I noticed is that it was a little loose because there is a metal part here. You guys could see it here. That's not on this side. It looks like it was glued in place and it came off. So you have it here, but not here. I was thankfully able to go through the styrofoam when I opened it and I found a piece. It's this little metal piece that you guys could see there. That's supposed to be glued in here. So I may try to do that just so that I don't lose this metal part, so that it you know, put some crazy glue so that it stays in place. And again, these things are not going to be perfect. In all honesty, had it been just this is fixable. And had it been just this and actually the loose ankles, I would have been more than fine keeping this figure. But I think in all honesty, the joints are what worries me, especially since most of the time my intent was to pose this guy with some kind of arm raised pose where he's shooting or, you know, he's doing the repulsor right thing. But his arm just sort of falls down. And even on like a standard pose, like you try to put it and you can hold it in place like that, but the second you move the joint out, the arm just falls off. So very disappointed there. Kind of sucks because I was really looking forward to this figure. The figure itself is pretty good. It's just that I'm having issues with mine. Just a quick comparison with another one of my Hot Toys that I do have open that I got a while back is the Advanced Suit Spider-Man. This is from the PS4 game that came out a while back. Love this figure. This was my first Hot Toys figure. So on the strength of this one, you know, I waited a while, but I figured, you know what, Hot Toys is maybe something that I can get into. This figure is great, but again, just the issues that I'm having with it. I'm hoping Sideshow could perhaps do a replacement, but if not, I guess I'll probably have to let this one go just because I don't know if I'm willing to put up with the loose joint there, which sucks. But otherwise, the figure is awesome, is great. And you guys could see them both there together. I know different lines and all of that, but just to give a good comparison on the size there. But anyway, thank you so much if you made it to the end. Thank you for hanging in there and being part of the video with me. If you have any questions or any suggestions, perhaps, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for your very valuable time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, be safe out there and be nice to each other. And I'll see you next time. Take care.